We have with us our Managing Trustee, Sri L. Gopalakrishnan, a gentleman par excellence, quiet, unobtrusive, mindful of every responsibility. I wish to present and welcome Sri Gopalakrishnan as the President of this evening's function, sir. A special note of welcome to members of PSG family and distinguished invitees. Next comes a section of population that's born to sacrifice until your end. They would be breathing a little easy this evening and would be quietly sitting with happiness unmatched by anyone else in this auditorium. They were proud when you entered this institution. They are proud as you are leaving now. They were happy when you told them you are attending classes regularly and you got a distinction in your tests. But they were sad when they heard our version of your story. Right? Yet they trusted you, loved you, continue to love you. This species of humans that suffers from this unconditional, perhaps helpless love and the consequent mood swings goes by the name of parents. I present them and welcome them. My dear graduates, you owe everything, literally everything, to them. Minus their shoulders, there is no place on this planet you could have stood on to achieve what you did. Give them your biggest rousing applause. My colleagues and friends, welcome. A warm note of welcome to the heads of various institutions whose affection and love I am enjoying every day. May I welcome the distinguished members of press and media. May I, ladies and gentlemen, welcome all of you, both near and far, in both spirit and form, to especially think of our graduates this evening and wish them well. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's our privilege to invite Sri L. Gopalakrishnan, Managing Trustee, PSG Institutions, to deliver the Presidential Address.
Good evening, everybody. Respected Chief Guest of the day, Dr. Asha Kishore, Director of the reputed Sri Chitra Institute of Medical Sciences, dignitaries on and off the institution heads, my dear graduates, parents, members of the media, and all invitees. Good evening and welcome to this program. It is my pleasure to preside over this graduation ceremony of PSG Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. I would like to know how many of you in the audience are aware of the history of PSG and Sons Charities, how it was established almost 100 years back. Of course, I'm sure the few faculty members and the heads of institutions in the front rows will be aware. But the students, I would like to know, the graduates, how many of you are aware of the history of PSG and Sons Charities? Could you please raise your hands? Not many. Okay, that brings us to the subject that we have to get students to go through the libraries and read about PSG and Sons Charities. And there is also on the website that you all can understand how 100 years back Sri P.S. Govindasamy Naidu, the visionary of this whole PSG and Sons Charities, established this institute. The four sons of Sri P.S. Govindasamy Naidu adopted charity as their fifth brother, in the sense that they divided their inherited property into 5 shares and named the 5th share as PSG and Sons Charities. This PSG and Sons Charities has created many institutions, arts and science colleges, polytechnic college, engineering colleges, 2 engineering colleges, medical science, and we also have many schools with about 32,000 children in all our institutions. And we have about 6,000 teaching and non-teaching faculty members on our rolls. This is one of the largest and one of the unique institutions in this part of the country. Unlike the other institutions, this is a public charitable trust which does not have any directors or people who take back anything for themselves. It is all plowed back into the charities all over again. One of the reasons for the growth of this charities is this. I would like all of you all to go through the websites and understand the way this charity was established. For example, I am here to manage for 5 years. My term is for 5 years, after which my next generation or my cousins or somebody who will be nominated by the trust board will take over. So that is a model that has been very successful. Next to the Tata Trust in India, I think I would say PSG and Sons Charities is the most successful in providing education and healthcare for the masses. This institution, the PSG Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, was started in the year 1985 on September the 30th as a culmination to the social call for augmenting medical education and research and for delivering quality healthcare services to the society. Backed by decades of significant presence in education and social reformation, PSG and Sons Charities Trust will rise up to the demands and challenges of providing medical education to students at the high standards that PSG is known for. Many illustrious principals and teaching staff have cradled its growth, and today we are ranked amongst the top private medical colleges in India. I feel proud that many of our alumni have joined this institution back as teaching staff and are ardently guiding their juniors. The institution has grown to the postgraduate training center offering postgraduate degree and diploma courses. Our main focus for the years to come is to grow in terms of research and specialized services. We would like to be a center of learning sought after by students of medicine and scientists alike. We are constructing additional buildings and adding more equipment to augment the expansion program. This provides ample opportunities for our students to enhance their clinical skills and further their education with us. I have a message for the graduates of this year. Wherever you are, you light the candle of PSG IMSR. I wish all of you all the best in your career. As you grow in your profession, you can always count on PSG for all your professional requirements. Let me wish you all the best in your professional and personal lives. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our distinguished chief guest for the day, Professor Asha Kishore, is the director, Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology, Trivandrum, an institute of national importance, Government of India under the Department of Science and Technology. Dr. Kishore is the first woman director of Sri Chitra. She completed her DM in neurology from Sri Chitra, in which she ranked first and garnered gold medal. One of the first Indian neurologists to be trained in the subspecialty of movement disorders at the University of British Columbia. She is also trained in deep brain stimulation treatment for movement disorders at several pioneer centers, including the Emory University, USA. Dr. Kishore and her team established the first comprehensive care center for movement disorders in India at Sri Chitra. She was instrumental in performing the first deep brain stimulation surgery in India.
Dr. Kishore, is a recipient of several research grants from national and international agencies. The latest funding is an Indo-German collaboration to perform the first genome-wide association study in Parkinson's disease in India. Her research contributions in understanding the long-term outcome of deep brain stimulation in Parkinson's disease, the pathophysiology of levodopa-induced dyskinesia, impulse control disorders in Parkinson's disease, pathophysiology of writer's cramp, plasticity of motor cortex in health, aging, and movement disorders are substantial. She started the first postdoctoral fellowship program in India and played a seminal role in establishing the subspecialty of movement disorders. She is a visiting faculty to the Hospital Salpetriere Petit, University of Pierre and Marie Curie, and collaborates for research in the field of transcranial and magnetic stimulation. She also has research collaborations with the University of Tübingen, Germany, in the genetics of Parkinson's disease.
She has a keen interest in medical devices technology development and is the clinical principal investigator of the deep brain stimulation system at Sri Chitra. As the director of Sri Chitra, she is also supervising and monitoring the development of 34 new medical devices technologies. Under her leadership, the Institute won the National Intellectual Property Award 2019 in the category Top Indian R&D Institution for Patents and Commercialization.
May I request the distinguished chief guest of the occasion, Dr. Asha Kishore, to please come to the front of the dais and distribute the certificates to the graduates.
Now we request the graduates to receive their certificates. Joshua Samuel, Setupati J, Jay Surya M, Ramachandran R, Roshni K. Raj, Yogesh S, Ashika B, Abby Sebastian, Abhimanyu TG, Abhishek AS, Abhishek Prasanna A, Adalarasu R, Adityan R, Ajay Keshav T, Akalya Jaipal, Akshaya N, Amit Matthew John, Anita M. Lalu, Anusha B, Arvind E.S., Arulpriya R, Arun Kumar V, Ashokavardhan D. Avinash R. Bharat Kumar G. Bharat Murgavel A. Bhavana E. Chinnamani M. Daimler Lindsay Jose Yes. Deepak V.
Deepika A. Deepika Gnanasekaran. Deepti Aishwarya R. Dharanya R. Dinesh S. Deepika B. Ishwar L. Firtos Fatima L. Gayatri Krishnan. Ganesh Kumar Natarajan. Gayatri AM. Geetanjali N. Jnaneshwar M. Govardhan S. Gautam Prasanna KC. Hari Prasad C. Harini T. Harinishri K.A. Harshavardhani M. Ilanchandran P. Aishwarya Anandi M. Jai Vignesh K. Janani A. Janani SV. Jayabanu BS. Jayastri A. Jayabina M. Jeffrey Soundarajan. Kalaivanan V.
Kavita S. Kiran Kishore C. Kritika Shri Shobhanagar Kartikeyan. Krishna V. Kritika Kumari Balasubramanian. Kumar K. M. Lakshman N. Leela Sriniti P. M. Mahindan K. Manoj Singh Paul B. Manoj Prabhaharan P. Manveena D. Mayuri M. V. Megha K. Meghna Nandakumar. Muhammad Akram Khan. Monica S. Mritula Shri N. Muthukrishnan G. Muthuraman P. L. Nandini B. Narendran M. Narmata R. Naveen Surya. Niha Jabin Yes. Nirojini A. Niveta R. Nivita G. Nivita M.
Pavitra B. Ponmalar Tamarai M. Prabhu P. Pramod Harikarthikeyan R. Pratna K.V. Prasanna Jivanandam. Pratisha Manika Vinod. Preeti S. Preeti S. Priyadarshini R. Priyanka MP. Priyanka R. Purushothaman S. Raghavi C. Ramana N. Rohini G. Safwan J. Sai Supriya Prabhu. Shakti R. Sri Lakshmi. Sangita S. Nair. Sanjana S. Sanjeev Kumar S. Shabha Nazmi. Shalini P. Shamli Kannappan. Shamriddhi B. Shanmadi Bala B.S. Shanmuga Sundaram N.K. Shivani B.
Shreya R. Shri Varshini B. Shri Devi R. Shweta S. Sibi R. Sibi Chandrasekhar. Shivanandini N. Shivaram Raj T. Suryakumar M. Shri Indra Kumar U. Shri Vaishnavi R. Shri Priyanka K. Shri Vatsan V. Subhash Chandra Bose N. Subramanian Mariselvan S. Sudantara Kamaraj. Supraja M. Surya Prabha E. Shweta Lakshmi A. Tarika G. Tarika Ramesh. Ubendra Dharangan S. Vaishnavi Devi P.R. Varshini Adipati. Vibhushniya S.T. Vidya K.G. Vignesh M. Yal Ilango. Yashwantini Priyanka N.
We will now honor our postgraduates who have completed their course successfully in the last academic year. We now invite the awardees for the postgraduate diploma courses. Dr. Tenmuli K. for postgraduate diploma in child health. Dr. Sendil Kumar M. for postgraduate diploma in anesthesiology. Dr. Subhashini D. for postgraduate diploma in tuberculosis and chest diseases. Dr. Ramasamy Jayachandran for postgraduate diploma in psychiatry. Dr. Tarani Priya GR for postgraduate diploma in obstetrics and gynecology. Dr. Rahul Ranjan for postgraduate diploma in orthopedics. Dr. Shanmugaraman AKK for postgraduate diploma in orthopedics. Dr. Mrinalini V for postgraduate diploma in otorhinolaryngology. We now invite the awardees for the postgraduate degree courses.
Dr. Clement Janal Das CP for postgraduate degree in general medicine. Dr. Nikanti Abhilash for postgraduate degree in general medicine. Dr. Lavanya G. for postgraduate degree in pathology. Dr. Sharmila Devi C. for postgraduate degree in pathology. Dr. Majida Mohammed for postgraduate degree in pathology. Dr. Preeti M.S. for postgraduate degree in pathology. Dr. Priyadarshini K.R. for postgraduate degree in pathology. Dr. Satya S. for postgraduate degree in pathology. Dr. Priyadarshini M.S. for postgraduate degree in microbiology. Dr. Pavitra Vaishnavi Yogisparan for postgraduate degree in physiology. Dr. Tendral A. for postgraduate degree in physiology. Dr. Kartika P. for postgraduate degree in pharmacology. Dr. Mary Mala P. for postgraduate degree in pharmacology. Dr. Nandini B. for postgraduate degree in pediatrics. Dr. Veda Sindil Velan G. for postgraduate degree in pediatrics. Dr. Jayam Kondan for postgraduate degree in pediatrics. Dr. Shruti Ravi Kumar for postgraduate degree in pediatrics. Dr. Zinia S. for postgraduate degree in biochemistry.
Dr. Najma Mohammed for postgraduate degree in respiratory medicine. Dr. Krishna Kumar J. for postgraduate degree in respiratory medicine. Dr. Selvaraj V. for postgraduate degree in respiratory medicine. Dr. Mohan Kumar P. for postgraduate degree in DVL. Dr. Yuvashri G. for postgraduate degree in DVL. Dr. Janani K. for postgraduate degree in DVL. Dr. Sai Ramakrishnan S. for postgraduate degree in orthopedics. Dr. Vijaya Muthukumaran G. for postgraduate degree in general surgery. Dr. Govind Gurumurthy P. for postgraduate degree in orthopedics. Dr. Raja Ganesh M. for postgraduate degree in ophthalmology. Dr. Harshavardhan B. for postgraduate degree in ENT. Dr. Kanimoli S. for postgraduate degree in OG. Dr. Pavan Kumar Perugu for DM in nephrology. Dr. C.H. Prithvi Krishnan for DM in Gastroenterology. Dr. B. Meenaloshni for DM in Pediatric Surgery. Thank you. And congratulations to all the graduates. Ma'am, it is our honor to request you to deliver the convocation address.
Dean of PSG Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, Dr. Ramalingam, President of this function and Managing Trustee Sri Gopalakrishnan, dignitaries on the dais, esteemed faculty and staff and students of the institution, graduates and their families, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me thank Dr. Ramalingam for his kind introduction and the warm welcome accorded to me by all of you. He was narrating to you the trivial difficulties that I had undergone in order to be able to come here, but let me assure you I would not have missed it for anything. It's a great honor, needless to say, for me to be addressing you on this very momentous occasion of the graduation ceremony of all of you. I was initially wondering whether I would fit in with the scheme of things of this convocation ceremony, but my concern was put to rest when I received, along with the invitation, a compendium of this institution on its silver jubilee, which was titled PSG Hospitals and Odyssey, and it had a striking statement on its cover which read, "A journey that has made a difference in the lives of many, redefining healthcare for 25 years." And in a flash, I could see the common thread and the convergence of purposes of our two institutions, Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute, as well as the PSG institutions, which I think totally justifies my presence here today. For that reason, I think this is also the most opportune moment for all of us coming from these two institutions, as well as the new graduates, to reflect upon the rapid transformations that are happening in healthcare, as well as the relentless march of science and technology in this field. So this is creating great opportunities as well as challenges for institutions like PSG as well as Sri Chitra, and it is not something that we disregard. Therefore, you can understand why I have a bias towards this topic of innovation in medical technologies, and I have chosen it as the topic for my convocation address, and I hope it is fitting with the occasion as well. But before I address, I must congratulate each of the graduates. The day belongs to all of you. I express my hearty congratulations to each and everyone who has achieved this great success as well as these coveted degrees, toiling through several years, long hours, stressful examinations, and you have got here and imbibed the values of this great institutions whose history you must definitely read, and you have equipped yourselves to now serve the society in our country. Needless to say, you did not get here alone. You had a strong support and cheering from your family and friends, your teachers and mentors. They made you who you are. They brought you here. So I take a moment now to offer my salutations to all those people, and I share their pride and success and their joy in your success that you have achieved today and what we are celebrating today. As the compeer said, today is not the end of a journey, but just the beginning of the journey. And from within this portals of this institution, during your hard and relentless work in the wards as well as dealing with patients, you have now acquired certain traits, probably new traits, or strengthen the existing traits in you, which is passion towards the medical profession, commitment, open-mindedness, and an eagerness to learn and acquire new knowledge. So many more assets you must have acquired from here, but these are certain very vital assets that you should have and nurture as you go along in your future career in the medical field. If you look around at this fast and rapidly changing world, you will realize that there is no place for complacency. And unless you are ready to acquire new knowledge and polish your skills and fine-tune your capabilities and be open to changing your attitudes with the changes in times, you will be left behind. So today's success is definitely a great achievement, but each achievement is also an invitation to strive for something bigger, something better, and something more challenging. So as we celebrate, we are all inclined to celebrate our achievements, and as we celebrate your achievements today, it is also a time to ponder on what next. What is the next achievement that you want to target? So the answer to this you will find if you look around our country. Think about the country, where it has come from, where it is today, and where it wants to go, and you will find the answer to your calling all around you. So if you look at our land, it is one of glorious heritage, staggering diversities as well as challenging disparities. And our country is home to a large chunk of the entire global population. We are blessed with a demographic advantage. We are highly committed to democratic values, and we as a nation is striving to achieve the economic status of the very highly advanced countries. We are trying to reach there. And this country offers us amazing possibilities and challenges to be able to take our country there. As medical professionals, more than anybody else in this country, we as professionals should be aware that our brethren, our countrymen, have the fundamental right to affordable as well as excellent health care in this country. So when each one of you, as you graduate and go out to serve society, if you can contribute to this fundamental right of access to affordable and good quality health care, you will be making your own contribution to a national goal of achieving a happy and healthy India. So as I said earlier, as you march into this future, as you are fired up by new expectations and new hopes, it is very important that you look around at the landscape of healthcare as it exists in India today and the rapid changes which are happening because of the overwhelming march of science and technology. So technology has transformed medicine, the way we practice it, the way we diagnose, the way we treat our patients. And healthcare has also emerged as one of the major enterprises of this country, both in terms of revenue generation as well as employment. And the size of the healthcare industry is expected to be a staggering 15 lakh crores by the end of the year 2020. As you know, the government also has a great stress, is emphasizing or putting a lot of stress on health. We as a population are becoming increasingly aware of the need for good health. The number of hospitals across the country has increased in leaps and bounds, and thanks to the vaccinations which have eradicated all those deadly infectious epidemics that used to plague our country, and the advent of innumerable new drugs and new medical technologies, our population is living much longer. The life expectancy has increased at a rate which was inconceivable a few decades ago. So as a nation and as its people, we are legitimately justified in being proud of the accomplishments of our country, transforming itself from one that was ridden in illiteracy and poverty and epidemics of infectious diseases to what we have reached today, thanks to the incorporation and adoption of the advances in science and technology in healthcare. So, but we know, even though we have reached here, the importance of moving faster is higher than any time before. And this is because even though we have conquered to some extent the scourge of infectious diseases, now we are faced with the dual problem of a rapidly increasing population as well as a new epidemic of chronic non-communicable diseases and the severe disability that these chronic diseases pose. So health is a major indicator and it is linked to development of any nation, and therefore it is important that we as professionals and as institutions involved in healthcare and research address what are the impediments for delivering optimal healthcare to our countrymen. The government's National Health Policy of 2017 actually looks at all these aspects and urges that there is an urgent need to improve the quality as well as the delivery of healthcare in our country. There has to be an increased utilization of digitization to develop health. There has to be accessible and affordable, very high quality primary and secondary healthcare in our country. Our healthcare programs have to be patient centric, and most importantly, we have to make in India for India, be it drugs or medical devices. And the government's policy document also very clearly says that even though all these medical technologies that have been able to elevate the quality of life and promote human health, has also brought in the reality of huge asymmetry or disparity in the access to high quality healthcare, as well as those advanced medical technologies, as well as the affordability of the treatments that involve high-end medical devices. Therefore, this is something. So these are the directions in which the nation is gearing itself to prepare for a healthy and happy India. And if you look at these trajectories, you will find there are important tips, important realms in which you can concentrate and find your calling as you move out to make your future. So coming as I do from Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology, I would like to elaborate a little bit on Make in India, particularly Make in India for medical devices, for a healthy India, for providing affordable as well as acceptable, high quality medical technology that suits our people. So it is a concept, Making in India is a concept based on which the entire foundation of the institute where I come from, the Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology, was built. It is because it had taken into cognizance very early in its development that clinical medicine is invariably linked to the advances in science and technology, and bringing science and technology into healthcare and developing medical technology and medical research for the development of medical technologies has to be one of the thrust areas that medical institutions have to focus on. At least some of you must have heard of Professor M.S. Valithan. He has been honored by the nation with several awards, both international as well as national, including Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan, who is the first director of the institute. He was a cardiac surgeon, and he was the innovator of the TTK Chitra heart valve, the first indigenous heart valve that was able to not only compete with international imported heart valves, but also replace many of them in the market, bring the price down of such advanced technology as artificial heart valves. And this was a venture that commenced in the 70s, and the institution has faced several challenges but has soldiered on to achieve many accomplishments in the last 3 years. When this institution was formed in 1970s, when people asked him about what was the mission and vision of this institution and why should Sri Chitra be considered as anything distinct, he has written about it, and I quote, "It is not the hospital, as there are many good hospitals in the country, and it is not the faculty because there are many others who are equally qualified. It is the convergence of medical science and technology development in this organization that makes it unique and sets it apart from the rest of the institutions in this country." So I'm very proud to say that Sri Chitra was the first institution to sow the seeds of medical technology development, R&D, and promotion of the medical devices industry in this country about 40 years ago. And the seeds sown across the country has sprouted in many institutions across the country. And today we talk of the medical devices industry and the giant leaps that it is poised to make. But we still have to remember that it constitutes only a very small proportion when you compare with the imported devices in the country. If you look at the medical devices industry and the medical devices market, we import about 24,000 crores worth of medical devices from several foreign countries, most importantly United States, and our medical devices industry of the country manufactures just a mere 25% of this, so 75% is imported. So you can imagine the huge amounts of money that is spent on importing these devices, and our medical devices, besides being contributing to only a small proportion of these indigenous medical devices, is plagued by a number of problems, most important of which is that they do not have the technologies to take from research institutions in order to make these devices. So unless medical institutions or engineering institutions and scientific institutions of the country do research and develop technologies in the field of healthcare, it is not possible for the medical devices industry to manufacture such devices in the country. So most of these industries are small and medium scale, and they do not have the kind of capital to invest in R&D on their own. And even if they did and develop medical devices, there are very few facilities in the country where these devices manufactured through the R&D of such institutions or of small industries can be tested and certified so that they get the license to be manufactured and used in clinical conditions. It is not possible for our medical devices industry to buy these technologies from foreign countries because of the huge costs, the licensing fee and the patent issues, and the huge amounts of money that have to be spent in order to get these the technologies transferred to our industry so that they can manufacture them. And another impediment to the growth of medical devices industry is the fact that we do not have skilled people who can work in these industries and be involved in the manufacture of devices. Therefore, it has become imperative that medical institutions, at least some of them, have to play the role of a catalyst and facilitator so that our medical devices industry can invest in adopting these technologies and manufacture them for the use of our people in the country and augment the contribution of manufactured devices in India, or those made in India, from the current low levels of 25% to at least 50% in the next 10 years. So this is a great opportunity for medical institutions as well as engineering and other scientific institutions to grab. So if you look at some of the priority areas where medical technology needs to be developed and which causes substantial societal burden and burden on the governments in providing health care are in the areas of geriatric care, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, cancer, and also the need to produce or manufacture these technologies using indigenous material rather than spend huge amounts of money for importing the materials which are necessary for making these technologies. If you look at what the government is doing in order to promote the development of medical technology and promote the industry in this country, there are several such major ventures and investments made by the government. The Department of Science and Technology, Government of India has initiated a number of schemes to foster technology development in the country. I'm saying this so that a few of you, if you are interested in a career in medical research and technology development, you should be aware that the government is going big on this and there is huge amount of funding available to such researchers. The Technical Research Center for Biomedical Devices, the Biomedical Device and Technology Development, the Device Development Program and Technology Development Program are just a few examples of some of the major programs that the government has initiated, particularly the DST, Department of Science and Technology. It is also providing huge amounts of money as seed money for startups, doctors, scientists and engineers to set up small industries to do R&D as well as develop devices and set up companies which can manufacture these devices, promoting entrepreneurship among scientists, engineers and doctors. The overall aim of supporting such ventures is that therapeutic and biomedical devices, implants, biosensors and instrumentations will be produced in India. So besides the DST, there is also DBT, which has several programs which go by names like BIG, SIBRI and so on, which can be tapped by young scientists, young medical professionals and young engineers, and if they have industry partnership, the better it is for them, and funding is available to get engaged in these areas. The Department of Scientific and Industrial Research has also a big scheme, a technology hub in the campus of CCMB in Hyderabad, which is also providing support to young startups, be it doctors or engineers. The Department of Health Research is also promoting intersectoral coordination between medical professionals, biomedical as well as engineers as well as other professionals involved in health research. So there are several such schemes to attract young professionals like you into the field of medical research and technology development. So to be able to, why should I be speaking about this to you? What rights do I have? Then I have to say that I represent an institution which has been successful in transferring a substantial number of technologies developed in our campus to the industry, and at least 50 technologies have been transferred, and in the last 3 years we have been able to transfer 23 technologies in the cardiovascular, neurovascular, heart tissue devices to the country. Thank you. But the big boost that has come to us is that Sri Chitra has been identified as a technical research center for biomedical devices, and the government has entrusted us with 100 crores to develop the technologies for for about 35 medical devices. So on a mission mode, our teams are gearing up to develop 34 medical technologies, actually of which 6 technologies have already been transferred in the last 2 years, and we expect another 15 to be transferred in the coming 2 years. We have also made a vision document for the next 10 years so that we will be able to transfer technologies of 60 additional technologies for the medical devices industry of this country. And some of these, our strength has been high-risk medical devices, as I said, like heart valves, and the new program involves a number of high-end devices like intracardiac implantable defibrillators, deep brain stimulators, flow diverters, left ventricular assist device, biological heart valve, and several of these. So we have teams of engineers, scientists and doctors who are leading this research in Sri Chitra, who are actually an inspiration for people like us, and should be an inspiration for the young medicos like you who can choose a career in this area. We have also set up a technology business incubator to promote startups who are interested in developing medical technologies, and we have about 10 of them incubating in our incubator, and already 2 technologies have been commercialized, which were started by young engineers from our engineering colleges in the state. We are also setting up a combination devices block, investing about 75 crores for establishing new programs like tissue engineering, 3D bioprinting of tissues, artificial organs, and so on. We are also ambitious. We have been ambitious enough to venture into a new field, which is establishing a medical devices park in Kerala, in Trivandrum, where at least 10 satellite research institutions in and around Trivandrum can do their R&D work. The industry can bring their R&D work. An institution across the country interested in medical devices technology can do their R&D work. They can bring their devices and prototypes for testing and evaluation there. And there is also incubation facility. There will be incubation facility for about 100 startups in the campus, and this is going to provide a huge boost to the medical devices industry as well as researchers involved in the development of medical technologies. So even as Sri Chitra embarks on these ambitious projects, we have to remember that for a country like ours, many more institutions need to come into this field. In this regard, I am extremely happy that the PSG group of institutions have recognized the need for promoting biomedical engineering, and they have recognized its importance and accorded it a status that it merits. It is deeply heartening to note that the stated mission of the PSG College of Technology is to foster world-class biomedical engineering education, promote R&D in biomedical engineering, encourage entrepreneurship, and mold young medical as well as engineering professionals to innovate new technology for healthcare application. The PSG Center for Biomedical Innovation, on the other hand, I understand, strives to take a leading role in supporting and promoting innovations and startups in the healthcare sector by creating a platform that is common among the PSG institutions. These are very commendable achievements and trends that in the long run would ensure that the nation's achievements and aspirations are in synchrony. So that is a brief snapshot of the healthcare landscape as we see today, and the opportunities available for research and development of medical technologies. So the message is very loud and clear, my young friends. We need to invest more, our resources, our manpower, our institutions in the critical areas of medical devices development in order to make an impact in our onward journey to make a happy and healthy aspirational nation. As I stand before you, I am also taken back in time to a century ago, to be exact, when a trust under the name of P.S. Govindaswamy Naidu and Sons came into existence to cater to the growing needs of education and the industry. In those times, the social, educational as well as economic scenario in India was very dismal, dominated by illiteracy, poverty, lack of any organized services or resources, and Coimbatore was no exception. It was then that the grand vision of P.S. Govindaswamy Naidu, strengthened by the tireless efforts of his 4 sons, brought forth this trust that has struck at the very roots of illiteracy and made education their trust area. So because of their tireless efforts, a series of institutions in various disciplines have studied the landscape of Coimbatore, transforming it into an educational township, an industrial township. It is my optimistic expectation that this institution under this trust, which has the requisite expertise in its various institutions, will be able to pool its resources and augment need-based R&D investments and research for the development of medical devices and instruments. And your institutions will also be able to also provide scientifically sound clinical trials using these medical devices as well as instruments. While Sri Chitra would support any collaboration for medical researchers, entrepreneurs and institutions, I would also like to highlight the need for all of our institutions to network with like-minded institutions like the IITs and other colleges of engineering and national institutes, as well as partner ourselves with members of the industry so that we form great collaborations and fulfill our commitments. The PSG institution has everything that it takes to fulfill your mission. It has a proven, scalable approach to the engineering-medical interface that teaches engineers as well as healthcare professionals to work together as a team towards fulfilling your commitment, which is a great commitment. And there can be no better way of paying tribute to the visionary founders of this great trust. Finally, I would like to give a word of advice to the students who have just graduated. I was a student like you about 3.5 to 4 decades ago. I would like to believe it was just a few years ago, but that is not true. But the world was infinitely different then. Life was much more peaceful, less stressful, less demanding, less challenging and less competitive. So now we see a tectonic shift in the culture, in our economic spheres, as well as enormous shifts in the way we view the world, the way we interact with our patients, the way we work, the way we interact with each other, the way we live has all undergone tectonic shifts. So it's an age of acceleration, and the world is changing in a way that at a pace that is difficult to fathom, at a speed that is extremely challenging for us to catch up with. But as young professionals who are going to enter into the field of either clinical medicine or biomedical research or biotechnology or R&D work, you should understand that each of these spheres are poised for very, very dramatic changes. And so it becomes imperative. Your education is not complete at all. You cannot settle down with complacency in your profession. It has become imperative that you should ready yourself to accept the rapid changes that are occurring in any field of practice or research that you will undertake, and you have to adapt to them or take to them like duck to water and acquire new and necessary skills as you go along. I wish to conclude by stressing that you have not just through these degrees earned new opportunities but also new responsibilities, and in this context I would like to quote Dr. Kurian, who is the father of the milk revolution, who said that life is a privilege and to waste it would be wrong. And in living this privileged life, you must accept your responsibility and always use your talent to the best of your ability and for common good. So may this priceless piece of wisdom and principle propel you in your future life. I wish you all the very best in all your endeavors, and thank you once again for inviting me.
Thank you, madam, for the inspiring speech. We are sure we'll have many graduates from this group who'll ponder into these insights provided by your good self. I request our Managing Trustee, Sri L. Gopalakrishnan, to kindly present our chief guest with the memento as a token of our love and gratitude. Thank you, sir. Life is short, art is long, opportunity fleeting, experience treacherous, and judgment difficult, said Hippocrates. As early as 400 BC, Hippocrates established the ethical standards of our profession, which has been handed down in various versions through generations of physicians, as the Hippocratic Oath, which reminds us of our duties to the patient, the society, and the world, and sets us apart from the other professions. As a contemporary successor to the 2,500-year-old Hippocratic Oath, the Declaration of Geneva was adopted by the World Medical Association at its Second General Assembly in 1948, which was revised in World Medical Association General Assembly on October 14, 2017 in Chicago, which will now be presented here. We request Dr. R. Shanmugasundaram, Professor of Cardiology, PSG Hospitals, to kindly administer the Hippocratic Oath to our new doctors. We request the medical graduates and postgraduates to rise and repeat the oath after Dr. Shanmugasundaram.
Good evening, all of you. I request you to repeat the oath what I am reading out. As a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity. The health and well-being of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the autonomy and dignity of my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity and in accordance with good medical profession. I will give to my teachers, colleagues and students the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patient and the advancement of healthcare. I will attend to my own health, well-being and abilities in order to provide care of higher standard. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely and upon my honor. Thank you. You may take your seat.
Thank you, sir. Give people enough guidance to make the decisions you want them to make. Don't tell them what to do, but encourage them to do what is best. We now request Dr. S. Lata Maheshwari, Professor and Head, Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, to empower the new graduates.
Good evening, everybody. As a both teacher and alumni, I feel honored to give charge to the new graduates to give them one last message before we send them off on their way. 25 years back, I stood on the same stage for my graduation. I'm from 1998 batch, and I feel very nostalgic today, remembering how it felt to see my parents so proud, and how equally I was excited and scared about my future. And here I am talking to you, sharing whatever I feel might be some use to you for your life ahead. Let me start by thanking the parents and family here for supporting them and sharing them with us. We are privileged to teach them and proud to call them PSG graduates and can't wait to see what they do in their lives. Medicine happens to be a unique profession where we are dealing with human lives and not machines. Any error, however minute or inadvertent, can harm your patient. It's a huge responsibility. So when you treat, go with prayer, humbleness and humanity. When I see the recent increase in violence against doctors, I wonder whether medicine has lost its charm or nobility. If yes, then it is our job to bring it back and prevent violence. Of course, we should learn to protect, self-protect, but that is not enough. We should make ourselves more trustworthy. How? By learning to communicate. Treatment is only half of the process. What we say to our patients and how we say to our patients makes a huge difference. By having passion, compassion and gratitude. Be passionate about your work, however small or big. Be compassionate to your patients and be grateful to your colleagues, teachers and family. Follow your heart, do what you love, and joy and success will follow you as byproducts. Finally, learn to balance both your professional and personal life. Thank you. Wishing you all the very best in life.
Thank you, Madam, for your words of experience, inspiration and encouragement. I'm sure your words will be forever etched in the minds of our students. Now, I call upon Ms. N. Akshaya of 2014 batch to respond on behalf of the new graduates.
Respected Dean, Chief Guest, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, professors, parents and dear graduates, a very good evening. I should say I'm a bit nervous to be addressing this gathering, but I am so much excited to be standing here on behalf of all my friends seated. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the institution for organizing such a day to celebrate us, to celebrate our journey. I am also extremely honored to be sharing this stage with people of such tremendous esteem in medical fraternity. I especially thank Dr. Asha Kishore for her presence. Madam, you are an inspiration for all young doctors out there. On this day, the batch of 2014 stands in hope for the next expedition. Looking at all the beaming faces, I am taken back to the first day of medical school when we were introduced to cadavers. Hesitant to touch it even to the final day of the final exam, trembling to take up the viva. It is funny how a huge batch of 150 have come together to all our perfections and imperfections and yet hold something unique to ourselves. The memories we made out through the ravenous sports practices, the crazy cultural events, the brain-bursting quizzes, and the most awaited batch tours, so on and so forth, will be cherished forever. The corridors of this college has brought out the best and worst of us, expressing all our emotions and let us choose wisely from our experiences. We have bonded exceptionally with some, that some friends have become family. We all have a great deal to laugh about when we are set to cross paths in the future. Today, we all hold something that many dream of, but few have the privilege to call ourselves doctors. And an heir to a surname, the golden letters MBBS. It is a major pride to have been a student within the walls of PSG IMSR. We gain more than just knowledge that we overcame of self-doubts and fears. We have been taught, beyond medicine, the value of self-discipline and empathy that few medical colleges now can take credit for. As Hippocrates stated, wherever the art of medicine is love, there is also love of humanity. I am sure that all of us are truly connected to this code. I think that medicine is nothing without the love of humanity. They have taught us to think like doctors, but to still stay under the skin of humanity. Because the practice of medicine is deeply personal and human experience. It is a delicate and demanding art where the end result of medicine practiced well is a new life to our patients. It is never going to be simple, but simple is not what we signed for. As we know, with great power comes great responsibility. Medicine is a noble practice, but it is not perfect. It can be good, but it is not always fair. We must remind ourselves of this as we labor to improve our shared practices.